Now, the trade of the day within the retail and clothing sector is Woolworths. Gentlemen.
Right, so let me explain how that happens. We've got one trade of the day. We've got to do it on our hot stocks portfolio.
Sure.
We've got quite a lot of retail and consumer exposure in the portfolio already, and a big position in Woolworths. Why? Because we keep picking it in the clothing space and in the food space as the grocer of our preference. So my sense would be that we're going to hold on to Woolies as our trade of the day.
Okay.
We know that the sector is a bit under a cloud at the moment. People are waiting to see what kind of results they can deliver. But all things point to good momentum from Woolies. A lot of extra interest from foreign shareholders. They did a good job at a recent international congress that was held up at Sun City.
Yeah.
Everybody's loving Ian Moyer. So even though it's trading at its all-time high, I know, about 70 Rand a share, the feeling is in our portfolio that it could continue to do well.
Yeah. Now, Chris, one of the comments that we had when we came into this was that most of these retail stocks are owned by foreigners, and we've seen foreigners have been pulling their money out of South Africa. Will it hold up, given those concerns and given that the bulk of the ownership is in foreign hands?
I think eventually yes, but and bear in mind that one of the reasons that the foreigners are holding these stocks is that they look at what they deem to be similar stocks in other geographical jurisdictions, and they see significantly higher PEs than we're looking at here, with not necessarily the same kind of growth as they've got here.
Yeah.
So I think they put those together and they think, well, okay, this is a really good prospect. And yes, the problem you have with foreigners is they don't get emotionally attached to stocks at all.
Yeah,
in any way, shape, or
absolutely.
form.
And sometimes fundamentals even don't count.
So if they get a bit of a skrick, they just they flog them. But I think they'll be back.
What would they be coming back for?
Well, I think, as Paul alluded to it, we're looking for the next set of results that'll be coming out in about August sometime. It's a junior in company.
Yeah.
And I'm still very confident we're going to see some pretty strong growth coming out of these things. And I think it'll probably require that gradual improvement in confidence that the star performers out there, which in my mind, in the whole retail sector, are ShopRite, Woolies and Mr. Price, I think will all get back to their former highs.
Yeah. In terms of their growth strategy, Paul, is it a question of looking at the store mix here in terms of your large and your smaller spaces and that kind of thing?
Absolutely. They'll continue to do that. The high transit areas, they'll continue to roll out their food model.
Yeah.
They've got the logistics behind that worked out, the distribution centers and all the rest of it. The clothing, they're getting better and better at the buying, and not to underestimate the home goods element as well, because that's got a longer shelf life. There aren't those kind of issues. As you know, if you go into their big stores, they've done a lot of store optimization in terms of the locations of where it is. Ian Moyer is a real retailer's retailer. And these guys are very impressive when they brief both their suppliers and deal with their suppliers as well as their potential investors and so on.